A very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Maryville, Missouri, Bearcat Arena on the campus of Northwest Missouri State University. SNU basketball live and on the air here in the semifinals of the NCAA Division II Central Region Tournament. Thank you again for joining us this evening. I'm Luke McConnell alongside Russ Frisbee this evening. SNU with its tallest task to date, taking on the #1 team in the country, undefeated 33-0 Northwest Missouri State. These two teams got here yesterday with a pair of wins. Northwest Missouri State, a 91-62 win over Minnesota State, and your Crimson Storm with an 81-61 domination of St. Cloud State University in the nightcap. And Russ, just a tremendous showing from these two teams yesterday, easily the most dominating performances of the tournament thus far. And it should be a great matchup here this evening.
Yeah, the two biggest deficits from the games yesterday. We saw a big-time offensive performance from Northwest Missouri and a big-time shutdown defensive performance from SNU in those last two games during the second session. So really excited, Luke, to see what these two have drawn up as the best offense in the tournament, best defense in the tournament clashing tonight.
Northwest Missouri State in their 91-62 win over Minnesota State. Senior Joey Wittis, 39 points on 12 of 21 shooting, 4 of 8 from three-point range. He was a perfect 11 of 11 from the foul line as Northwest Missouri State shot 55.5%. They were 11 of 23 from three-point range and 20 of 21 from the foul line. They led throughout the entire contest, and Minnesota State just no chance against the Bearcats yesterday evening. And then in SNU's win, it was all about Noah Starkey, 31 points for the senior, 13 of 18 from the field, 9 rebounds, 5 of those on the offensive end. He came in with 23 points in the first half. Jonathan Dunn chipped in 17, Coleman Edwards 11 off the bench. Micah Spade only with 4 points, but he did have 6 assists and did what was necessary for SNU, and that was pound the ball inside to Noah Starkey. SNU shot 51% from the field and held St. Cloud State to 43.5% from the field. They kept star Gage Davis in check. He did get 25 points, but needed 20 shots to do it, and they only let him get to the foul line 4 times yesterday evening in that dominating performance. Earlier this evening, Missouri Southern advanced to the region championship game on Tuesday. That game will be at 7 o'clock. Missouri Southern with a 92-83 win over Southeastern Oklahoma State. The Savage Storm put up 52 points in the first half and led by 12 after 20 minutes, shooting 61% and 9 three-pointers in that first half, but the shots dried up for the Savage Storm, 31.3% in the second half, 2 of 17 from three-point range, while Missouri Southern shot 59% in the second half and knocked down 6 three-pointers in each half. Cam Martin, the UConn high school product, put up 34 points and 18 rebounds for Missouri Southern, and also got 25 points from Kinzer Lambert as Missouri Southern Lions advanced to Tuesday night's regional championship, and the winner of this game will take on the Lions on Tuesday night. Russ, we got to see Northwest Missouri State yesterday for the first time, and it was an impressive showing. This team is very, very talented. They are a great shooting team. Not the biggest team you're going to see with just shooting with just guys 6'7", 6'8" as their tallest guys. But again, a lot of talent on this Northwest Missouri State team.
Yeah, getting a good look last night in that first night of play. Northwest definitely looking to press the ball. You know, you talk about their ability to shoot, their ability to get out and run, their focus on energy. They're going to look to press and transition, really high tempo, high energy, and that's going to be their ball game this evening. For SNU, much different look as they've been out here playing defense, slowing down the pace in the half court, trying to force their opponent into the big ball game, like many of these non-GAC opponents are not used to. So that's going to be the look for Northwestern, trying to push the ball, get out quick, get lots of shots up, and really ride the energy of this crowd. And if SNU is going to have a chance tonight, it's going to be a lot of the opposite.
Just running through a couple of the statistics for Northwest Missouri State. Coming into the tournament this weekend, they came in averaging 84 points per game, good for 32nd in the country, 51.5% shooting from the field. That's number 4 in the country. 41.6% from three-point range is 4th in the country as well. Their scoring margin of 22 points per game is tops in the country. But for Northwest Missouri State, it's not just the offensive end. They also only average 7.9 turnovers per game, which is 2nd in the country. But it's not just the offense for the Bearcats. They're very active defensively, averaging 7.5 steals per game. They force 13.5 turnovers per game. And as far as scoring defense goes, 62.2 points per game. That's good for 3rd in the country.
Yeah, we watched them on game one night against Minnesota State, holding their opponent just to 62, the 2nd lowest margin behind St. Cloud State. Both these teams limiting in what otherwise has been a big-time scoring tournament. We talked about on the first night, the first 2 games of the evening, 4 100-point performances. And so that defense, one of the only other teams here that's got that emphasis on defense, has that ability to hold opponents under the 70, under the 60 mark. So very interesting look, as there's not a whole lot that Northwest doesn't do well.
Going through some individuals, Northwest Missouri State swept the all-conference honors this year. Trevor Hudgens was the freshman of the year, Joey Wittes the player of the year, Coach Ben McCollum was coach of the year, and Ryan Hawkins was defensive player of the year. And Hawkins probably easily their best defender. He averages 9 rebounds per game. He has 23 blocks, which leads the team. Also 2.2 steals per game, which is number 27 in the country. And they'll have to contend with Noah Starkey inside. And let's go ahead and shift our focus over to what SNU needs to do tonight. Last night we saw SNU pound the ball inside to Noah Starkey early. They took a good shot from St. Cloud State early. The Huskies led by 9 with about 14.5 minutes to go first half, and then it was all SNU the rest of the way. And a lot of that was because of Noah Starkey pounding the ball inside to the big fella. He was able to get on the board quickly with a lot of dunks, and was 5 of 5 from the free throw line as well. And he continued that dominance to the tune of 31 points. And we expect to see the same scenario tonight, at least early, to see how Northwest Missouri State will respond to SNU's decided advantage in the middle with the 6'11 Starkey.
Yeah, the size of Starkey, an absolute amazing advantage for SNU. The opportunity to come in with that post presence, and Bohach's willingness to use Charles, to use Newton, to use Palmer, keeping those post legs fresh. That post presence is a big size factor that a lot of these other teams haven't been seeing very much of. So look for Starkey. We saw him big last night. Look for him to come out strong. But the key to SNU's success is going to be around Noah Starkey. If he's able to get looks early, then that's going to be where it's at. If Northwest has done their scouting report and they watched that big game from Starkey last evening, they're really going to be crashing hard on Starkey, and then it's going to become, how do they respond? How does Starkey kick the ball out? How do they get help down to Starkey? That's going to be where the game is won and lost for SNU.
SNU easily the best defensive team here by pretty much any metric you look at. They're number 25 in the country in scoring defense, 67.4 points per game, and they give up 40.8% shooting, good for 21st in the country coming into the weekend. But a little bugaboo for SNU this season has been that three-point defense, 36.6% allowed coming in to this weekend. They did hold St. Cloud State last night to just 7 of 27 from three-point range, and St. Cloud State came in shooting just under 40% from the three-point line this season. So a terrific performance closing out on shooters last night. And with Northwest Missouri State, all 5 starters have hit over 43 pointers this season, and again 41.5% from the three-point line this season. So it's going to be very important for SNU to defend that three-point line. And how do you expect them to do that this season?
So often when we talk about SNU's defense, we talk about Noah Starkey manning the middle. We talk about some of the energy from Palmer, from Charles. But last night we saw that defensive shutdown from 3, and it all starts with that guard defense. You see the likes of Zach Johnson, Jonathan Dunn, Micah Spate D'ing up, stopping guys in transition, closing out well, and making sure that you don't quit until that rebound is secured. So I think that's going to be a big key to the game, how Zach Johnson how Jonathan Dunn, how Micah Spate are able to play sort of irritant defense around the wing, how they're able to slow down Northwest in the transition. That's going to be a huge key to slowing down the quick-paced offense and to closing out three-point shooters.
Offensively for SNU, again, looking to Starkey early, but we've seen a lot of players step up over the last couple weeks, really none more so than Coleman Edwards. He's had at least one three-pointer in 13 of his last 14 games. He was 3 for 5 from the three-point line last night in scoring 11 points, and he's really turned it on here in the second half of the season. He's shooting over 42% from three-point range for the season, and that was after a start where he was well under 30%. Into December and January. And how big is his three-point shooting, as well as Ashton Charles? He had a huge game in that Great American Conference Championship against Southeastern, and he had a solid showing last night. Missed both three-pointers, but the ability for Charles to hit that is certainly going to keep Northwest Missouri honest a little bit tonight.
Yeah, and spreading the floor is huge for SNU. So far this season, not a lot of success all around the lineup with three-point shooting, but when you have that success of Coleman Edwards, you have that success from Ashton Charles, it just opens up your offense so much. It gives Starkey so much more room to work in the paint. It gives Spate, it gives Dunn opportunities to drive to the bucket. It spreads out the defense and keeps them honest, and that's what it's been for SNU. Maybe Coleman Edwards isn't having a great night. Maybe he's only hitting a couple, but when you have them spread out on the wings, have them in the corner, it just opens up the entirety of the offense. So if we see Edwards, we see Charles not having the best of nights, they still can be contributing in big ways just simply by keeping the defense honest, giving room for your other stars to work, and that's what they've brought to this SNU offense.
One thing that neither team will be lacking in is experience. A couple juniors and seniors for Northwest Missouri State in the lineup, although they do start 2 freshmen and a sophomore. So it will be interesting to see how they respond to a battle-tested, hardened SNU team. Of course, SNU starting a couple juniors and 3 seniors with Spate, Johnson, Newton, Dunn, and Noah Starkey. So 3 seniors, 2 juniors for SNU. They were on this stage last year. They understand what it takes to win at this level. So it'll be interesting to see how SNU's experience plays a factor, as well as the atmosphere here in Maryville, as Northwest Missouri State takes the court with about 6 minutes to go before tonight's game. And Russ, we got our first taste of Bearcat basketball last night, and the atmosphere was absolutely tremendous. And it's once again a sea of green here at Bearcat Arena. And we were talking just amongst ourselves how SNU seems to respond better to hostile atmospheres, to packed houses, and when the stakes are high within the crowd, they seem to play better, and this is certainly going to be the most hostile atmosphere they've ever played in as a unit.
Oh, for sure, and credit to Northwestern for this environment, taking full advantage of the #1 seed, taking full advantage of hosting the tournament, as even right now we're struggling to hear just the deafening atmosphere in here. But SNU plays an exciting brand of basketball, and they love coming into exciting atmospheres and playing well, even coming into hostile atmospheres and being able to be the bad guy a little bit, shut down the home crowd, take them out of the game. I think that's something that SNU really, really lives for. So look for them to try and take advantage of that opportunity early.
SNU will be looking to silence this sellout crowd here at Bearcat Arena, and again, that experience factor certainly going to be important for SNU. They have, again, like we said, have taken everyone's best shot all season long, particularly in conference play. The GAC does not get enough credit within the region, but I think SNU's performance last night and Southeastern's performance yesterday and today certainly helped the GAC's rep a little bit here in Maryville this weekend, and I think it would be, it would go without saying that SNU's experience this season as the hunted will definitely give them a leg up this evening in dealing with this atmosphere.
Yeah, SNU had a great season last year. They made it to the tournament, but coming into this season maybe had that target on their backs a little bit. They had to deal with some some good offensive power, and really the big storyline is the way that they've had to respond with what teams are throwing at Noah Starkey. Teams reading that scouting report, throwing all kinds of different defensive looks. They've experienced that. They're used to that, and hopefully come into this atmosphere tonight, they're ready for that. You know, you can't throw a zone, you can't throw a double, you can't throw anything at SNU at this point that they haven't seen a little bit of. So hopefully they have the opportunity to come out tonight and show that they're ready for that. But obviously on the other side, no sleeping with Northwest, as they have not seen an opponent yet this season that was able to knock them off. So a tall task standing ahead for SNU.
You know, I think this game really boils down to how each team reacts to the other's strength. You know, we've talked about the huge advantage, both literally and on paper, that SNU has with Noah Starkey in the middle. There are no 6'11" big guys as skilled as Noah Starkey in the MIAA, and you know, just looking around and reading on social media and some message boards that, you know, they know that there's nobody that they have faced this year like Noah Starkey, and it'll be interesting to see how Northwest Missouri responds to that, and it will be equally interesting to see how SNU responds to the decided strength of Northwest Missouri State's shooting ability, as SNU now on the floor finishing their final warm-ups, and as we're down to about 2 minutes before tip time. Russ, what are you most looking forward to in this contest tonight?
I'm just really excited to see the offensive game that both these teams are ready to play. You know, Northwest plays a very exciting brand of basketball, ride a lot on the energy of that crowd, while SNU too, you know, they like the big dunks, they like the big blocks, big defensive plays. I think both of these teams love the energy, love the momentum. And like you said, I think the key to the game will be how each team responds to the other's momentum, because it's going to be a back and forth game. The defense, the transition, each team is going to have some opportunities in this game where they've got the ball rolling. And how will the opposing team respond? That's what I'm looking for out of this matchup.
Going through, let's each name a player to watch tonight, and my guy's going to be Jonathan Dunn. He had 17 points last night on 6 of 15 shooting. He was 2 of 6 from three-point range, which makes him 6 of his last 32 from the three-point line. But he's got the look of somebody who's ready to break out, and I think that tonight with the defense keying in on Noah Starkey, I think tonight's going to be that night. Whether it's enough for SNU to pull off the upset remains to be seen, but I think you'll get a big game from Jonathan Dunn tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. To that same note, and I think this might be the first time this season I've picked someone outside the paint, but I really want to watch the game from Micah Spate. Had a tough shooting game last night, but like you said, with all that scouting going inside to Noah Starkey, he's got an opportunity, and I think coming off a tough game, we're going to look for Micah Spate to really step up and take advantage.
Well, let's run through the starting lineups. First for the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. This is the same lineup they've been using for all of conference play since early January. First up, number 1, freshman guard Diego Bernard. He's a 6-foot from St. Joseph, Missouri, just down the road, averaging 11.8 points per game and 4.8 rebounds per game. He started just twice in the first semester, and then he's started every game since January 5th. Number 12, redshirt freshman guard Trevor Hudgens. He's 6 foot from Manhattan, Kansas. Number 18.7 points per game and 5.3 assists per game. He's the number 2 freshman scorer in the conference, in the country, and number 3 in assists in the country as a freshman. He's also number 9 overall in the country in assist to turnover ratio. Number 30, the senior 6'7" guard Joey Wittis from Chanhassen, Minnesota. He's actually a Minnesota State transfer. The MIAA Player of the Year. He's number 11 in the country in three-point percentage at 45.5%. He averages 21 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 2.5 assists per game. Sophomore forward, number 33, Ryan Hawkins, 6'7" from Atlantic, Iowa. He's averaging 14 points per game, 9 rebounds per game. He's also their leading block shot man at 23 and 2.2 steals per game. And lastly, number 44, junior forward Ryan Welty, 6'8" from Parkville, Missouri. He's averaging 8.4 points per game and 4.6 rebounds per game. He shoots 50% from the three-point line, which would be good for top 5 in the country if he had enough attempts to qualify. For SNU, the same lineup we've seen most of the season. First up, junior guard Micah Spate, 5'10" from Oklahoma City. 15 points a game and 4.9 rebounds per game to go along with 5 assists. Number 15, senior guard Zach Johnson, 6 foot from Mansfield, Texas. Came in averaging 4.5 points per game and 2.6 rebounds per game. Had a great game last night with 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting to go along with a steal and 2 rebounds. Number 22, senior guard Quaylen Newton, 6'3" from Bryan, Texas. 7.7 points per game and 6 rebounds per game for the senior. Number 25, junior guard Jonathan Dunn, 6'4" from San Antonio, Texas. Came into this weekend averaging 17 points per game and 4.4 rebounds per game. Second on the team in steals at 1.3 per game. And in the middle, the aforementioned Noah Starkey, 6'11" senior from Hutchinson, Kansas. 14.4 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game. He leads the team and the Great American Conference in blocks at 64. And again, a 31.9 rebound performance last night. We're all set to go here at Bearcat Arena. Hawkins and Starkey jump center. Starkey wins the tip, and we're underway. A sea of green here with a little bit of Christmas sprinkled in as the SNU section is well represented. Dunn up top, guarded by Welty. Now Micah Spate, guarded by Bernard. Gets the screen from Starkey. Zach Johnson with it. Now Newton up top, guarded by Wittes. Spate pulls the trigger for 3. It's off the mark, no good. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Starkey. Surrounded, then he kicks it back out up top to Zach Johnson. Now Dunn, working on Welty. He'll take it inside all the way to the basket. Finger roll is good, and SNU up early, 2-0.
That's going to be a big key for SNU, trying to get some momentum early. Try to make sure that this crowd can't get to you in the opening shots of this game.
Bernard in the corner, working on Spate. Spins, puts up the shot. It's short, but it gets a friendly roll and falls in for Northwest's first point of the game. Zach Johnson on the left wing, guarded by Hudgens. Now Dunn up top. It's Zach Johnson on the curl. Goes away from the Newton pick. Now Newton with it at the extended elbow. Now Dunn working behind the Newton pick. Double team. Ball is tipped and taken by Welty. Recovered by Newton. Spade's going to have to fire it up at the shot clock buzzer. Bank shot's no good, and Hudgens tracks down the miss for Northwest. Good hustle from Newton to prevent the fast break, but missed shot for SNU there. Hudgens shut off by Zach Johnson. Now Wittes up top. Jonathan Dunn gets the first assignment on the senior. Spate. Now Bernard drives, kick. Hudgens steps inside, kick. Welty, corner, 3, good.
That's going to be big for SNU, the way that Noah Starkey's able to get out to his man on defense. Noah likes to play in the paint, trying to reach out to the shooter.
Spate working on Bernard. He shuts down the drive there. Newton trying to post up Starkey. Hawkins pulled the chair out on Starkey a little bit, and Starkey traveled. First turnover of the game for SNU, and Northwest will inbound on the baseline, leading 5-2. 2 minutes gone by in this one as Hudgens works up the court, guarded by Zach Johnson. Used the screen from Hawkins, goes in, ripped away by Newton, but Hudgens recovers. Hawkins lost the ball. Great pass from Hudgens, but he wasn't able to finish, and Zach Johnson comes away with it. Dunn on the left wing, trying to enter it into Newton. Dunn goes behind the Newton pick now. Welty's guarding him. Dunn, straightaway three-pointer is in and out, no good. And Bernard has the miss for the Bearcats. Bernard behind the Hawkins pick. Hesitation dribble, gets inside of Spate. Missed the left-hand layup, but Hudgens is there to tip in the miss. And it's 7-2 Bearcats early.
Shots not falling right now for SNU. It's going to be big to see how they respond to some of those threes, some of those mid-range looks not going. Got to keep taking those shots, however.
Spate gets inside of Hawkins, and he is fouled on the shot attempt. That'll be the first foul on Ryan Hawkins, first foul on the Bearcats, and Micah Spate will go to the line for 2 free throws. Hawkins and Coach Ben McCollum wondering what he did there. But either way, the first foul, and Micah Spate at the line for 2. First free throw is long for the junior. One more coming for Micah Spey, the Putnam City North product. Knocks that one in, and it's 7-3 Bearcats. Hudgens behind the Hawkins pick. Zach Johnson recovers. Holding up top, now Wittes on the right wing. Guarded by Jonathan Dunn. Now Hawkins. Hudgens. Zach Johnson slapped at it, but was unable to get the steal, and that's going to be foul number 1 on Zach Johnson. First team foul on the Storm. And Bernard will inbound on the baseline. SNU with a double team here on Wittes. Hudgens up top, guarded by Johnson. Hudgens spinning, working inside. Good job by Dunn. Kick out Welty for 3, no good. And Bernard going hard for the rebound, goes over Zach Johnson's back. The first foul on Bernard, second foul on the Bearcats.
That's a great hustle rebound there by Zach Johnson, getting up for the ball. In the past couple of possessions, SNU struggling to cut off the drive from both Bernard and Hudgens, but right there, a good solid defense playing all the way through to the rebound. That's going to be SNU's ball.
Newt at the extended elbow, guarded by Wittes. Dunn fires it inside to Starkey. Gets around Hawkins, and he slams it home.
And that's what Northwest has been trying to prevent. Finally able to get the entry pass into Noah Starkey, and he makes him pay.
Hawkins already playing perhaps a bit cautiously with a foul. Hudgens gets around and gets the right-hand layup to go. Great hesitation dribble from Hudgens. Again, Hudgens plenty capable offensively, 18.7 points per game. And he will be a handful for Zach Johnson. Newton up top. Now Johnson with it, back to Newton. Micah Spate. And an offensive foul is going to be called. Not sure who they're going to get here. And it's going to be on Jonathan Dunn on a moving screen. It's going to be the second foul on SNU, and that'll take us to our first timeout. 15:39 to go first half. Bearcats leading this one 9-5. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. 15:39 to go first half. SNU trailing early 9-5. Couple fouls either way so far. Ashton Charles into the game for Quaylen Newton. Hudgens goes around Johnson, leaves it off for Bernard. Lost it going up, but he was fouled.
Southern Nazarene foul number 15, Zach.
And that's going to be number 2 on Zach Johnson already. Coleman Edwards quickly to the scores table to get the senior out. Bernard at the line for 2. He's 74% foul shooter this season. Edwards, more of an offensive threat for SNU, but played a tremendous defensive game chasing Brenley Tyson of St. Cloud State around the three-point line last night. And definitely more of a threat from the three-point line than Zach Johnson, so it'll be interesting to see how this works out for SNU here. 4 3-point shooters on the court surrounding Noah Starkey. Spate, harassed, backdoor lob. Jonathan Dunn missed the dunk. Looked like it was just a little bit out of his reach, and he tried to slam it from too far away. And it goes out of bounds. Bearcats with possession here, up 11-5. Wittes gets in the paint, bounce pass Hawkins, kick out. Bernard, three-pointer, no good, missed everything.
Well,
Charles has the miss, and Spate quickly the other way for SNU.
SNU slowing tempo, but this is their spread look. Like you said, 4 shooters with Starkey in the middle, looking to get as much space on the floor as possible.
Comes in, kick out, Edwards for 3. In and out, no good. A couple great looks for SNU early, just haven't fallen yet. And Hudgens bringing it back up for Northwest. Gets around Spate, gets inside, kick out. Hawkins three-pointer, it's good. 14-5 Bearcats. As you can tell, it gets loud in here quick. The Green faithful rise to their feet. Jonathan Dunn up top. Now Micah Spade on the wing, guarded by Bernard. Dumps it down low to Starkey. Hawkins slapping at it. Bernard knocks it away out of bounds. SNU will maintain possession with 9 on the shot clock.
The noise absolutely deafening in here is right now got to be getting into SNU's head. Any opportunity at this point to quiet this crowd is going to be an opportunity SNU needs to take.
Spade gets it into Dunn in the corner. Use the screen from Ashton Charles. 5 on the shot clock. Dunn gets around Hawkins, goes all the way in, floats it in for 2. Good move from Jonathan Dunn. Good aggressive play getting to the bucket. His second field goal so far, and it's 14-7. Hudgens, cut off. Good help from Ashton Charles to close off that pass to Bernard. Knocked it out of bounds. 17 on the shot clock. Northwest will maintain possession. Bernard to inbound on the baseline. Inbound comes to Hawkins up top. He's guarded by Starkey. Now Wittes with it. Guarded by Dunn. Hawkins, straightaway three-pointer, long, and Charles a big rebound for SNU.
SNU still needing to get something going with this three-pointing crew on the court. They've had some good looks, but none have fallen for them yet.
Great pass from Dunn to Starkey, reverses it, missed it, and Hudgens has the miss for Northwest. Hudgens gets in, rejected at the rim by Charles, but they're going to get a foul on Micah Spate. Charles came over to help. That's me, the first on Micah Spate, team's 4th.
Some Northwest fans chirping, hoping for a goaltending call on the block there by Ashton Charles, but it looked like he got it clean.
I believe the officials are going to chat about it real quick. The officials confirm that, Charles got the block cleanly.
Pretty directly shook his head no and said absolutely not. That's a block.
Hudgens an 82% free throw shooter this year. Hits the first, and RJ Palmer will check in for Noah Starkey. Kirk Finley into the game for Diego Bernard. One more coming for Hudgens. So SNU with their smaller athletic lineup here, with Palmer and Charles manning the 4 and 5 positions. One key thing for SNU's ability to pound inside is definitely going to be Noah Starkey's stamina. Dunn off the curl, he's checked by Welty. Entry to RJ Palmer, working on Hawkins. Pounding inside, slips around, and he's called for a travel. Adam Bohach can't believe it. Great move from Palmer. Bohach working the officials hard. Hudgens on the left wing, guarded by Spate, and he traveled.
Maybe a makeup call there, as that was a tough call on SNU's end. I'm not sure what he was seeing there, but got RJ Palmer with the travel and took away the bucket.
Spate up top with it. Now on the wing to Edwards. SNU running a weave up top. Now Dunn with it, top of the key. Uses the screen from R.J. Palmer. And Hawkins picked his pocket. Another turnover for SNU, down 9, 16-7, 12:20 to go first half. Hudgens working on Ashton Charles, now Wittes. Hudgens thought about a three, instead drives in, gets to the basket, missed everything. Palmer has the miss, and Spate coming the other way. SNU just 3 for 9 to start. Coleman Edwards a three, in and out, no good again. And Northwest coming the other way. SNU 0 for 5 from three-point range to start this one.
Ball just not falling SNU's way from three. A lot of good looks, a lot of tough bounces off the rim, but just not falling their way.
Wittes gets inside. That one's blocked by Palmer. And a foul is going to be called inside. That's going on. Not sure who that's going to be called on. They signaled 30. Give me on number 10, Coleman Edwards, his first, team's fifth. And that'll take us to another timeout, 11:43 to go. SNU not getting the shots to fall early. It's 16-7 Bearcats, 11:43 to go first half. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. SNU trailing by 9. 11:43 to go first half. Already 5 team fouls on the Crimson Storm. Zach Johnson has 2. Everybody else just with 1. Hudgens inbounding on the baseline. Gets it into Hawkins barely. Hawkins gets it over to Hudgens. 15 on the shot clock. Hudgens working on Palmer now as the shot clock goes to 10. Hudgens drives in. Kick corner. Hawkins for a three. It's off the mark. No good. Ashton Charles has the miss. SNU bench wanting a foul on Finley for going over the back.
Great box there from Edwards, but no call.
Spade has his pocket picked by Hudgens. Hudgens all the way. Now he has his pocket picked. Pushes Edwards out of the way, no call. Wittes has it. Kick Hudgens in the corner for an open three. Barely got iron. And here comes Coleman Edwards, one on everybody. He'll slow it down and let SNU catch up.
Yeah, maybe had a 1-on-4 break there, and Edwards thought better of it.
Spate working on Finley. Gets a screen from Charles. Now he's matched up with Wittes. Spate, step back, three-pointer, yes!
Finally 1 to go for SNU. That is 1 for 6 now from 3.
First three-pointer of the tournament for Micah Spate. Missed his 3 attempts last night. Hudgens on the wing. Now Wittes with it. Hudgens on the wing, looking for a screen from Hawkins. Goes right, now Palmer on him. Wittes gets inside, floater is good.
Good help defense there from Micah Spate. Right place, right time, just not enough height. The much longer Wittes put the floater right over him.
Spate guarded up top by Finley as SNU trails by 8. Halfway point of the first half. Spade, another step back three, in and out, no good. Another good look for SNU that was a centimeter from going down. And Hudgens back the other way. Jonathan Dunn guarding him. Now Hawkins looking to entry into Wittes. He's guarded by Micah Spate. Starts to back him down. Gets good help from Palmer. Welty will take the three-pointer. In and out, no good. Palmer high for the rebound. Welty can't seem to keep his feet when he shoots a three-pointer. Has the crowd wanting a foul.
On the ground after every shot.
Edwards up top, guarded by Hudgens. Gets it over to Dunn. He's guarded by Wittes on the left wing. Hits R.J. Palmer on the screen. He's fouled and it gets it to go. Big finish for R.J. Palmer through contact. Foul's going to be on Ryan Welty. That's his first. Third team foul on the Bearcats, and R.J. Palmer will go to the line to complete the three-point play. Ashton Charles takes a seat, and Noah Starkey back in for SNU. Great dive from R.J. Palmer to slip that screen there, and Dunn hit him with a perfect pass.
Yeah, good hustle and aggression at the rim, too. He had an opportunity, what looked like a dunk, but the defender coming in from behind, at that point, a great credit to let the ball fall, give him a chance for three.
Palmer hits the free throw. It's 18-13. Bearcats leading this one. Hudgens takes the seat. Xavier Rhodes in for the first time. Freshman from Kansas City, Missouri, just 3 points a game. Northwest not a deep team. They'll only play 7 or 8 tonight. And their big guys will carry the load of the minutes. Rhodes picked up his dribble. Now Finley with it. Back to Rhodes up top, guarded by Dunn. Welty on the wing. Gets it to Wittes. Wild pass. Double teamed on the baseline. Spate steals it and then is fouled by Rhodes. Great double team by Palmer and Spate. Wittes tried to save it off of Spate out of bounds, but Spate jumped back and managed to save it inbounds, and then Rhodes committed the foul on Micah Spate.
Yeah, Wittes, a frustration play there, trying to bounce it off the kneecaps of Micah Spate, but the good hands turn into a transition, and Micah fouled. Now SNU with the ball going the other way.
Spate checked closely by Finley. Now Edwards with it, guarded by Xavier Rhodes. Edwards got caught and traveled. Edwards disagreed, but it looked like he might have dragged that pivot foot just slightly. And substitution for Northwest as Bernard and Hudgens quickly back into the game. Welty and Rhodes will take a seat for the Bearcats. 8:29 to go first half, 18-13 Northwest. Certainly not the offensive showcase we've seen from most of the games in this tournament, but that's how SNU would prefer it. Wittes open for three over Palmer is good. First three-pointer of the game for Joey Wittes, and the lead is back to 8, 21-13. Palmer with it up top, working on Wittes. Bounce pass into Starkey. Has it knocked away, and he went for it, and it's deflected out of bounds off of Starkey. That'll take us to another timeout. 7:55 to go first half. 21-13 Bearcats. SNU trailing early, but looking to fight back into this one when we come back. Northwest Missouri State ball as we come out of this timeout. 7:55 to go first half. Bearcats leading 21-13. As the wave has already started here at Bearcat Arena, and that just dropped the... And a foul is going to be called on Quaylen Newton, even though he reached in and had his hand right on top of the ball.
Just a ridiculous call there as Bernard dancing through the middle of the lane, everyone holding the ball.
16 foul on SNU. Inbound comes to Wittes, guarded by Dunn. Passes wide of Hudgens, but he tracks it down. 15 on the shot clock. Spate gets over the screen from Wittes. Wittes goes in. And a foul is going to be called on Jonathan Dunn. That's going to be his second foul. So a little bit of foul trouble for SNU here. 17 fouls now will send Joey Wittes to the line for 2 free throws. Wittes 84% coming into the tournament. And again, 11 of 11 yesterday. First free throw is good. Second one for Wittes is also good. And the lead is 10. First double-digit lead for the Bearcats. Edwards up top, guarded by Hudgens. Bernard jumped the passing lane, knocked it out of bounds. Zach Johnson coming back in for Coleman Edwards. Johnson with 2 fouls.
Some of the defensive struggles because of that foul trouble, going back to a defensive lineup, getting Zach Johnson in, trying to help out that defense.
Pass deflected out of bounds by Hudgens. Johnson will do it again. Johnson gets it into Newton. He's guarded up top by Wittes. Now Spate on the left wing. Gets it to Dunn. Entry pass to Starkey. Finishes. Gets it in. A lot of contact there, no call. Lead back down to 8 for SNU. Hudgens up top, guarded by Johnson. Kick out Wittes, top of the key, 4-3. In and out, no good. Johnson has the miss for SNU.
SNU continuing to slow pace, trying not to let the emotion of the game, the quick tempo of Northwest get in their heads.
Spate, entry on the baseline to Newton, working on Wittes. Kicks it up top to Spade. He'll pull the trigger straight away. 3 is good. Deep 5 points for SNU, and the lead is back to 5, 23-18 Northwest. 6:30 to go first half. Micah Spade with 2 threes already. 7 points to lead the Crimson Storm. Hudgens on the left wing. Gets the screen. Now Dunn switches on to him. Both Johnson and Dunn out there with 2 fouls. Wittes, walk, no call. Gets inside. Passes, shot is rejected by Newton, and Micah Spate coming the other way for SNU.
Spade again slowing down that offense, trying to get set up in the half court.
Johnson with it. Now Dunn in the wing for 3. He got it! And it's a 2-point game. SNU starting to heat up from distance. They've hit their last 2, and it's an 8-0 run for the Crimson Storm as the SNU faithful rise to their feet and make some noise. Hudgens, kick corner, Finley for 3. Off the mark, no good, and Starkey has the miss for SNU.
Big momentum shift here for your SNU Storm. Couple of big threes, great defensive stops, and now an opportunity to tie this one.
Spate working on Bernard. Now Newton up top, guarded by Wittes. Newton all the way in, and he's going to be called. Foul is going to be called. Believe that is going to go on Finley, and it will. That's his first. 16 foul on the Bearcats. Welty will check in for Finley. 15 foul on Northwest. So Spade inbounding on the baseline. SNU down 2, 23-21. Dunn in the corner, guarded by Welty. Step back, 3-pointer, no good, and Bernard soars in for the rebound. Another one that kind of toilet bowled the rim there.
Just no luck on these rims.
I can attest to that. We had a little shoot around ourselves when we got here on Friday, and they were not kind to us either. Hudgens on the wing, guarded by Johnson. Fresh shot clock for Northwest. Hawkins pulls the trigger for 3. That's long. Dunn with another rebound for SNU. Spate will walk it up. Waylon Newton a little slow behind the play, tying the shoe. Northwest crowd getting into this early. They understand SNU a formidable opponent here. Spate, entry pass into Starkey. Back out to Dunn. Dunn tried to get it back into Starkey, and that's going to be the second foul on Ryan Hawkins.
Some of those ticky-tack fouls we've been seeing on SNU's end finally coming the other side, and the crowd here not in support of those under-the-basket calls.
We're going to see a substitution here. Tyler Doherty into the game for the first time. Doherty, little used so far this season. 3.3 points per game. Averages 10 minutes per game. He has appeared in 29 games. Spade gets it back on the inbounds pass. Just missed the three. Newton crashing hard for the rebound, and just a slight collision there. That's going to be the second foul on Quaylen Newton, even though there was collision everywhere.
Yeah, I think the ball bounced a little harder than maybe Quaylen did. That's a tough call. So far away from the basket. And now with that SNU foul trouble, it's going to turn into a one-on-one opportunity for Northwest.
That's the 8th team foul for SNU, and Newton becomes the third Crimson Storm player with 2. Joining Dunn and Johnson. Doherty to the line. He's a 46% free throw shooter this season for a 1-and-1 opportunity. And he banked the first one in. That's embarrassing.
At 46, anything you can get to go, you can get to go. He banks the first and earns himself an opportunity for a second.
Second one is long, and Johnson has the miss for SNU. So 24-21, ticking down to 4 minutes to go here in the first half. It's an 8-1 run for the Crimson Storm to get back into this one after Northwest went up 23-13. Doherty reaches around Starkey and gets the foul call. So Noah Starkey will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Coach Ben McCollum can't believe it, but he also doesn't see a guy Starkey's size, and his guys don't necessarily know how to deal with that without fouling.
Yeah, after watching the game last night against St. Cloud State, they saw what Starkey can do once he has the ball. So right now the big emphasis for Northwest State is denying the entry pass, and the last couple of possessions getting some ticky-tack fouls, doing their best to try and deny entry, but that's so tough against the size of Starkey, and Starkey's credit his ability to put himself in the right positioning.
Doherty quickly to the bench, and Hawkins back in with those 2 fouls. An opportunity for SNU to go inside, as Hawkins certainly will be careful down low. Starkey's first free throw is good. And Starkey went 6 for 21 last week in the Great American Championships, but a perfect 5 for 5 yesterday against St. Cloud State. So good to see the big fella back with confidence. He was a 70% free throw shooter in the regular season. And he hits both free throws to cut the lead to 1 for SNU. RJ Palmer checks in for Starkey. So SNU with, again, a smaller lineup on the court right now. Dunn, Johnson, and Newton all with 2 fouls for the Crimson Storm. Bernard on the wing, now Hudgens up top. Dunn switches onto him. Hawkins drives in. Bounce pass over to Wittes, and a foul is going to be called on Quaylen Newton. And that's going to be his third. Just an unbelievable call there. And that's going to take us to another timeout. 3:50 to go first half. SNU has fought back to trail by 1, 24-23. We'll be right back after this. SNU right back in this with tremendous defensive pressure here. Northwest Missouri State without a field goal in the last 4.5 minutes, and they've missed their last 5. SNU in foul trouble now, though, with Quaylen Newton to the bench with 3. really ticky-tack call a couple times as Newton got all ball. Wittes at the line, missed the free throw, and Dunn has the miss. SNU with an opportunity to retake the lead. They led 2-0 at the outset, but have trailed ever since. Spate working on Bernard. R.J. Palmer up to set the screen. Dunn looking to enter into Doherty. Dunn up top, guarded by Welty. Lost it, gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Creates some space at the elbow. Soft jumper's no good. Bernard is high for the rebound.
Some big time wrestling in the post down there with Starkey. Lots of fan crying for foul, but no such call.
Hudgens is under the Wittes screen. Tries to enter it in, decides not to. Now Bernard back to Hudgens. Gets it into Wittes. He's guarded by Spate. Wittes leaves it to Bernard down low. Doherty lost a shoe. Wittes for 3, knocked it down. Ashton Charles checking in for R.J. Palmer as Tyler Doherty working on getting his foot back in his shoe. So that three-pointer from Wittes, his second three-pointer, he's up to 10 points fairly quietly. It doesn't seem like he's already got 10 points, but that's where we're at. And Northwest Missouri State back up to a 4-point lead with 2:48 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, right now, SNU doing a great job defending around the guard, but Wittes just with some of that wing-sized height. SNU not with a lot of options to guard the wing.
Spate, now Charles up top. He's guarded by Wittes. Spate, offensive foul on Ashton Charles. I think he and Spate got a little mixed up on the screen, and he put Bernard on the ground with that one. That's the first foul on Ashton Charles, 10th team foul, so 2 shots the rest of the way for the Bearcats. Another turnover for SNU, their 8th of the first half. Hudgens gets the switch on to Jonathan Dunn. Enters it into Wittes. He's guarded by Spate. Wittes backing Spate down, turns, lost the shot over Spate, and it gets it to go. 29-23. Quick 5-0 burst for the Bearcats, pushes the lead back to 6.
That's the look they want right there. They're trying to get the ball to Wittes on Micah Spate, take advantage of that height difference.
Foul's going to be there on Ryan Welty. That's his second. That'll send Jonathan Dunn to the foul line for a 1-and-1 opportunity with 2:06 to go here in the first half. Edwards back in. Zach Johnson will take a seat. He's got those 2 fouls. Dunn readies with the first one. And missed it. Rebound controlled by Hudgens on the baseline. And he'll bring it up for the Bearcats. 2 minutes to go first half. SNU trailing by 6. They were down by as many as 10. Doherty stops in the middle of the lane, gets it to Bernard. He gets inside, and a foul is going to be called. They're going to get Coleman Edwards with his second foul. A little contact to the head there. So Bernard will go to the line for 2 free throws. Already 2 for 2 there this evening. First one is good for the freshman. One more coming. The foul starting to pile up for SNU, already 11 here in the opening 20 minutes. Second one is good for Bernard. And it's an 8-point game. Timeout SNU. Give me a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here. We look to, as SNU looks to close the half strong and get back into this. Russ, a tough whistle on one end and just not getting shots to fall on the other. Defensively, they've done a nice job. Northwest shooting just 9 of 24 from the field. They're 4 of 13 from three-point range, but SNU has knocked down 3 of their own, so that's basically a push. Right now, the difference, 9 of 11 at the foul line for Northwest and 4 of 6 for SNU.
Yeah, those free throws coming in big right now for Northwest. They've got 9 from the charity stripe, and when they're not shooting the ball that well right now, they're being bailed out at the free throw line. SNU needing to play defense without fouling, limit those trips to the free throw line, because shots aren't falling right now for Northwest. But with their abilities at the free throw line, it's not really mattered.
For SNU, 2 fouls on Edwards, Dunn, and Johnson, 3 on Quayla Newton, 2 fouls on Ryan Welty and Ryan Hawkins for Northwest. Spate working on Bernard, gets the screen from Starkey, goes right at Doherty, left-hand shot's no good. Starkey the offensive rebound, and he is fouled, and he'll go to the line for a 1-and-1. Foul's going to be on Joey Wittes. That's his first. 9th team foul on the Bearcats, and Starkey with an opportunity to cut into this 8-point lead at the foul line. 1:37 to go first half. First shot is good for Starkey. One more coming for the senior from Hutchinson, Kansas. 7 points for Starkey. Jonathan Dunn and Micah Spate with 7 each as well. RJ Palmer has 3, and that's the scoring for SNU right now. SNU needing a little bit of help from the other guys, as Hudgens working against Spate. Now Wittes guarded by Dunn. Hudgens and Spate going at it. Hudgens gets inside, dishes off to Doherty. Hesitated and somehow got the double clutch shot to go.
Noah got a lot of that ball. Looked like he had the block, but able to double clutch and make the basket through the block.
1 minute to go first half. SNU down by 8, 33-25. Starkey comes up to set the screen. Spade's pass deflected and stolen by Doherty. Northwest with an opportunity to build on their lead with 50 seconds to go here in the opening half. 9th turnover for SNU here in the first 20 minutes. Hudgens thought about a 3. He can certainly take that. 48% shooter. Doherty to Bernard. 7 on the shot clock. Drives on Edwards. Gets inside. Kick Welty. Wittes. Deep 3 as the shot clock expires. Great ball movement there from the Bearcats, and the lead is 11. It's loud in here right now, Russ. Micah Spate working on Bernard. Now Edwards. Jonathan Dunn with 7 on the clock. Gets the screen from Starkey. Double team, 2, 1. Gets some space, puts up the 3 at the buzzer. Got it! Good! Huge response from Jonathan Dunn. And that's how the half comes to an end. 36-28, the Bearcats lead it at the end of the first 20 minutes. SNU in a dogfight here, but down at the half. We'll take time out. When we come back, we'll break down the first half for you with all stats and analysis and get you ready for the second 20 minutes of action. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back to halftime here at Bearcat Arena. SNU trailing 36-28 to Northwest Missouri State, the #1 team in the country. SNU plagued by a little bit of foul trouble in the first half and turnovers. The big story of that first half, Russ, 9 turnovers for SNU, just 2 for the Bearcats, and the Bearcats took advantage, 12 points to 0 in points off turnovers in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, definitely something they're going to need to clean up. We talked about SNU needing to slow down the pace, needing to force the half court, and that has come out of some of their struggles when they've looked to press the ball, when they've looked to match Northwest's energy and speed. They've turned over the ball, and that's really hurt them in this first half.
SNU doing a pretty good job on the defensive end. Northwest Missouri State, 42% shooting in the first 20 minutes. They were 5 of 14 from the three-point line, a little bit under their season average. And SNU right there at 43% themselves. They hit 4 3-pointers in the first half as well. A little bit of a difference at the foul line, 6 of 8 for SNU, 9 of 11 for the Bearcats. Individually for SNU, Noah Starkey with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Micah Spate, 2 3-pointers. He had 7 points in the first half. 10 points for Jonathan Dunn and 3 points for RJ Palmer. And that's it for the scoring for SNU. Quaylen Newton, 3 personal fouls in 8 minutes. He's been on the bench for most of the half. Zach Johnson had 2 fouls early, did not score in the first half. Coleman Edwards also picked up 2 fouls and has missed both of his 3-point attempts in this one. Ashton Charles played 9 minutes, has not taken a shot. He does have 3 rebounds, but no points for the Crimson Storm. So Quaylen Newton with 3, Zach Johnson, Jonathan Dunn, and Coleman Edwards all with 2 fouls each. No fouls for Noah Starkey or RJ Palmer. 1 foul for Ashton Charles and 1 foul for Micah Spate. So a little bit of foul trouble for SNU, but here in the last 20 minutes, potentially of your season, everything's going to be on the line in the second half. For Northwest Missouri State, Joey Wittes, 15 points in the first half on 3 of 4 shooting from 3-point range. And really, Russ, it seemed like a pretty quiet 15. It's one of those where you look up and, oh, he actually does have 15.
Yeah, it was kind of slow moving. He got a couple of got a couple of threes to go. He's 3 for 4 from 3. He's had a couple of free throws, a couple of good fadeaway jumpers, but it hasn't jumped off the stat sheet. You know, they've just been all around playing a very well-played game. Northwest, it's not been the Wittes show, but look for them to continue to get him the ball in the second half. Maybe that's something you look at in the locker room as SNU, something you didn't realize you were slipping up on defense. You try to rewrite the focus, shut him down a little bit more.
For Northwest Missouri State, again, Wittes with 15 points, 6 points each for Trevor Hudgens and Diego Bernard. Hudgens also with 6 rebounds and 4 assists, 3 points each for Ryan Hawkins and Ryan Welty, and 3 points for Tyler Doherty, who came off the bench when Hawkins picked up his second foul and contributed a good couple minutes there in the first half. SNU trailed by as many as 11 in the first half. They were down 23-13 and battled back to within 1 at 24-23, but the Bearcats ended the first half on a 12-5 run. A Wittes 3-pointer as the shot clock expired with about 25 seconds to go in the half pushed the lead to 11, but Jonathan Dunn, a huge 3-pointer at the end of the first half, sent SNU to the locker room on a bit of a high. It'll be important for SNU to capitalize on that as we get started here in the second 20 minutes. Russ, we've seen the first 20 minutes, and what do you think for the rest of the way for SNU?
Well, continuing that pressure on defense. The defense has been there. They've been hurt a little bit by some of that foul trouble. Defense has been there. I think right now you got to continue to focus on Wittes, slowing him down. But offense is the big struggle right now. SNU needing to score points to get back into this game. Continue looking for shooters. Continue trying to get the ball into Noah Starkey. Continue working for your shots. I think a couple of times down, SNU has gotten lazy and settled for some jumpers. Look for them to really work the offense and get the good looks in this second half.
Bearcats starting with the basketball, moving left to right in front of us. Hudgens gets it over to Hawkins at the elbow. Now Hudgens guarded by Zach Johnson. Now Welty in the corner. Wittes up top. Now Hudgens back with it. Gets the switch on to Jonathan Dunn. Drives in. Puts it up with the left hand. No good. Starkey has the miss. Looked like a little bit of a bump there from Jonathan Dunn, but Hudgens over-exaggerated the contact. Zach Johnson controlling up top for SNU. Micah Spate in the corner, drives baseline. Tried to dump it off to Noah Starkey, knocked out of bounds by Diego Bernard, and Bernard's been everywhere this evening. A couple rebounds there in the first half, as well as a number of deflections for the freshman from just down the road in St. Joseph. Dunn gets inside on Hawkins, and he's going to be called for steps. The 10th turnover for SNU this evening, and that's, I believe, the 4th or 5th travel called on the Crimson Storm tonight.
Yeah, lots of travels being called, lots of turnovers and wild balls. Got to clean that up for SNU right now. No empty possessions as they're working to get back into this one.
Bernard gets the switch onto Quaylen Newton. Now Hudgens over on the right wing. Welty. Now Wittes, he's guarded by Dunn. They switch, and Quaylen Newton has it. Gets inside, pivoting, and gets the right-hand hook shot to go. Pushes the lead back to 10 for the Bearcats. Dunn on the right wing. Now Johnson up top. SNU not in any hurry. Very methodical. Entry pass to Newton. Bounce pass over to Starkey. Somehow got it. Bernard missed the steal somehow. He shot the passing lane, but Starkey was able to gather and score. And that's now 10 points for Noah Starkey, and 3 of 4 from the field. To go along with 5 rebounds. Hudgens tried to hit Hawkins. Good denial by Zach Johnson. Hudgens back with it. Probing inside. Kick up top to Wittes. He's guarded by Dunn. He'll drive, shut off. Hawkins, he'll drive. Floats it high off the glass and in as the shot clock expires. Again, we've got two teams very content to use every bit of that shot clock. As 2 possessions in a row, Northwest has taken it down to 2. Just really impressive how they operate with no urgency when that time comes. Spate, extended post to Starkey. Spate hiding behind the Starkey pick. He's off the mark with the 3. Welty has the miss. And the Bearcats looking to extend their 10-point lead here. 2.5 minutes gone by in the second half. Wittes up top. Now Hudgens with it on the right wing in front of us, guarded by Johnson. Probes on Starkey. Gets bumped and shut off, but throws the ball off of Starkey out of bounds, and Bearcats will inbound on the baseline with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Bernard gets it into Hudgens. 10 on the clock now. Johnson shuts off that drive. Hawkins comes up to set the screen. Hudgens will take the 3 himself. It's no good. Welty with the offensive rebound, and Northwest will reset. Bernard looking to drive. Hits Hawkins on the baseline. Missed it short. So he tried to get Starkey in the air. Starkey wouldn't bite. And Spate coming back the other way.
SNU playing a little slow right now. Some of that sharpness out of the cuts, not posting as hard. Look, right now they're gassed, looking for options as they have not been able to get some of their shots to fall.
Spate gets inside of Hawkins and lays it in for 2. Great hesitation dribble from Micah Spate, and he's up to 9 points for the Crimson Storm. SNU needing a couple string a couple stops together. Wittes. Hudgens comes inside and gets that, and uses a little rip move to get the 3rd foul on Zach Johnson. And Ashton Charles will come check in for Quaylen Newton. Zach Johnson staying out there with those 3. .20 on the shot clock now for Northwest. Hudgens gets inside, puts it up with the right hand, and lays it in. Lead staying at 10 for the Bearcats. Johnson with it up top. The Bearcat fans rise to their feet once again. Dunn on the right wing, guarded by Welty. Now Charles, he's guarded by Wittes. He'll back him down. Shot in the lanes, well off the mark, no good. Bernard has the miss, and he'll walk it up for the Bearcats. Not a great look for Ashton Charles on his first shot attempt. Bernard gets inside, left it off for Hawkins, and he lays it in for 2. Great job by Bernard, drawing the contact. Spate working on the right wing. Nearly lost the dribble, gets it back. Charles with it. Tried to dump it in, but foul is going to be called on Hawkins. That's going to be number 3 on Ryan Hawkins. And that's good because Charles threw it right to Hawkins there. Well, that'll be the 3rd foul on Hawkins either way. 12-point lead for the Bearcats, 15-10 to go in this one. SNU needing a rally when we come back. Welcome back, 15-10 to go in this one at Bearcat Arena. SNU trailing by 12, 44-32 to the number 1 team in the land. That last foul on Ryan Hawkins, his 3rd. It'll send him to the bench. Tyler Doherty back into the game. Jonathan Dunn gets the inbounds pass. He's working on Ryan Welty. He'll take him baseline, gets inside. No call, a lot of contact. Dunn got it back and put it in anyway. Tremendous amount of contact without a call there. Welty has it, now Doherty with it. Dunn bumps Wittes, and Wittes goes down, and that's going to be the 3rd foul on Jonathan Dunn with 14:49 to go in this one. Wittes went down very quickly. So Dunn have to be a little bit cautious on the defensive end here. 15 on the shot clock for Hudgens up top, guarded by Johnson. Hudgens lost it. Johnson gets it, leaves it up to Micah Spade. He'll take it all the way in and missed it. High off the glass, Bernard slapped the backboard very hard and probably shook the basket enough to miss that shot. Bernard, kick, Wittes drives. Oh, miscommunication there between Johnson and Starkey on who is helping, and Wittes carries it in for the basket. It's a 12-point game. And a timeout called by Adam Bohach. SNU seeing a couple miscommunications here. We'll take timeout with him. 14:09 to go. SNU still down 12, 46-34. We'll be back after this. SNU still trailing by 12, 14:09 to go in this one. Foul trouble for SNU. Zach Johnson, Quaylen Newton, and Jonathan Dunn now all with 3 fouls. 5 of 8 start from the field for the Bearcats here in the second half. Coleman Edwards into the game now for Johnson. Ashton Charles out there with Dunn, Starkey, and Coleman Edwards and Micah Spate. Starkey up top of the three-point line, gives it to Dunn, straight away for 3, splash! Uncontested three-pointer for Jonathan Dunn. He'll make those every time. And the lead is back to 9 for the Bearcats.
Great seal there by Noah Starkey. They brought him all the way up to the top of the key, and he sealed off that shot for Noah Starkey very well.
And here comes the 2-3 zone for SNU. We saw them employ this a little bit against Southeastern in the Great American Conference Championship. It threw the Savage Storm off. We'll see if it can do the same for the Bearcats. Hudgens gets inside, threw the ball, somehow got it back. Welty missed the three-pointer. Bernard goes way high for the rebound, and a foul is going to be called on Noah Starkey. That's his first foul.
I didn't see it there, but maybe with only one foul, that's not the worst call you can get. Noah also unsure of where that foul came in.
Third team foul on SNU here in the second 20 minutes. SNU back in the man after the inbounds pass. Hudgens guarded by Spade up top. Now Wittes. Welty wide open on the wing. Charles contests, and it's an air ball for Welty. Not sure if Charles got a piece of that. But Spate's coming back the other way. SNU a chance to cut this 9-point lead down. Dunn with it. Extended right wing guarded by Welty. Swings it over to Coleman Edwards, guarded by Hudgens. Charles, great entry pass to Starkey. He gathers, turns, left-hand hook is good right at the rim. Put Tyler Doherty right under the rim, and Starkey was able to finish. And the lead is down to 7.
Great use of height advantage there by Noah Starkey. That's the first time we've really seen him use that in this game, and that time he used it to his advantage.
Hudgens with it. Up top, Wittes. Back to Hudgens. Goes right in. He traveled. Blatant no call. Wittes gets the floater to go. And a timeout for Northwest. Going to be a full timeout here. Adam Bohach and the entire SNU section calling for a travel. Just an egregious miscall there as Hudgens clearly dragged the pivot foot, but either way, it's 2 points for the Bearcats. We'll take timeout here with 12:14 to go in the second half at Bearcat Arena. We'll be right back after this. .12:14 to go here at Bearcat Arena in this NCAA Division II Central Region semifinal matchup. SNU taking on #1 Northwest Missouri State and trailing the Bearcats by 9. SNU has trailed the entire way, save for a 2-0 lead right out of the gate. They've trailed by as many as 12. Charles nearly lost the ball, but gets it back. Micah Spate working on Bernard. Gets inside. Scoop layup is good. Good aggressive drive from Micah Spade, and the lead is 7. And SNU hanging right in there. You just need to string a couple stops together. SNU employing that 2-3 zone. Northwest has not taken a three-pointer against this zone so far.
Yeah, so far I've liked this look. At Northwest not really sure what to do with it, as they've really done a better job of containing Wittes. And Northwest trying to look for some answers out of this 2-3 zone.
Wittes will take the deep straightaway three. It's long as the shot clock was winding down. Starkey went high for the rebound, lost it. And Northwest will get a fresh shot clock. Starkey had both hands on it, and when he came down with it, looked like it was just knocked away. Welty swings it to Hudgens. Now back to Welty up top. Northwest gets it inside to Wittes now. Back up top, Welty. He'll try a three. In and out, no good, and Jonathan Dunn has the miss. So the lead's still 7 for Northwest. Bernard doing a nice job on Micah Spate. Spate with 11 now, 4 of 11 shooting, and he's got it up top. Noah Starkey comes up, sets the pick. Elbow jumper for Spate. It's long. Hawkins has the miss. Great look from Micah Spate. Coach Bohawk likes the look. Great screen from Starkey, but just couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah, as of right now, I've really liked this 2-3 zone out of SNU. Northwest not sure what to do with it. They've been closing out, shifting well. Lots of passing around the top of the key, and SNU has responded well.
Hudgens probing. Wittes kicking the corner, Welty. Dunn closes out well. Hudgens inside, Euro step. He tripped and traveled. And the official with the correct call there as Hudgens tripped over his feet and traveled with it. And SNU will inbound on the baseline, 10-12 to go in this one. Spate working it up across half court. Now Edwards with it. Jonathan Dunn, he's guarded by Welty. Hawkins hedges hard. Dunn is doubled. Hawkins rips it away. And Hawkins is going to be called for the foul. That's his 4th. Crowd doesn't like it. Neither does Coach Ben McCollum. That'll send Tyler Daugherty back into the game and Hawkins to the bench. Big moment here halfway through the second half as Ryan Hawkins goes to the bench with his 4th foul. Inbounds comes to Ashton Charles. Micah Spate with it up top, guarded by Bernard. Starkey, and that's going to be an offensive foul as Daugherty couldn't get his feet under him and caught an elbow from Starkey across the chest. Starkey gets called for the offensive foul. So Northwest inbounding on the baseline, 9:53 to go in this one. Adam Bohach having a conversation with the 4th official at the scores table. Northwest swings the ball around the top of the 2-3 zone. Entry to Wittes. Bernard drives baseline. Good defense from Charles, shutting that drive down. 10 on the shot clock. Wittes gets inside. Floater over Starkey is good. And the lead's back to 9 for the Bearcats. SNU hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. Dunn creates some space on Welty. His shot's no good. Bernard has the rebound. The Bearcats coming the other way with 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, this 2-3's been good to SNU, but right now not finding ways to score on the offensive end. Stuck in a little bit of a lull.
Bernard using the Daugherty screen, crossover dribble, ripped away from Starkey, but it goes right through his legs, out of bounds. Great job by Starkey ripping that one away, but unable to control the loose ball. 10 on the shot clock. Wittes with it. Inside, he's bumped and fouled. It's going to go on Jonathan Dunn, and that's number 4. And Dunn with 4 fouls is going to have to take a seat. And Dunn, who normally does not say anything to the officials, letting John Moore know that he wants the same call on the other end. So Dunn will take a seat. Zach Johnson back in as Wittes hits the first free throw to push the lead back to 10. Second free throw is up and good. 52-41, Bearcats lead. Spate guarded by Bernard up top. Leaves it to Charles. Charles, quick trigger for 3. It's off the mark, no good. Noah Starkey, the offensive rebound. He puts it up, no good. And then a whistle and a foul.
Good work in the Good work in the paint by Starkey, staying with it. So many arms and legs everywhere. Starkey with the obvious height advantage, but so much athleticism on that northwest end. I think he got hacked on the second attempt there, tipping it back up. Now an opportunity at the line for two.
Trevor Hudgens picks up his first foul, third on the Bearcats. First free throw is off the mark from Starkey. Starkey went up, was surrounded by 3 Bearcat players, and still managed to be the one to come down with it. One more for the senior. He's long with both of them. Welty has the miss. Missed opportunity for SNU there. And SNU sticking in that 2-3 zone. It's Spate and Johnson up top. Edwards, Charles on the wing with Starkey in the middle. Hudgens up top. Now Welty on the wing. Wittes comes up top. Doherty, quick trigger to Welty in the wing. Gets it inside to Doherty, and he finishes with the right hand.
SNU has not scored in the last 4 minutes, needing a bucket here.
It's a 6-0 run for the Bearcats. The lead is 13, the biggest of the evening. Charles spins on Wittes, missed it, puts it back in and scores. Big bucket for Ashton Charles there. 54-43, 7:40 to go in this one. Bearcats working the ball around the perimeter. Diego Bernard. Now Wittes posts up Edwards on the left baseline. And a foul is called on Coleman Edwards for just standing still. And that's going to take us to a timeout. 7:29 to go in this one. Bearcats leading 54-43. We'll take timeout and be right back after this. .7:29 to go here, Bearcat Arena. SNU trailing by 11, 54-43. That last foul on Coleman Edwards, his third, 6th-team foul. SNU back in the man-to-man after the inbounds play. Bernard at the foul line, dumps it into Wittes. Gets Starkey in the air, and that'll be number 3 on Noah Starkey. And that'll send Joey Wittes to the line. Wittes, 25 points for Northwest Missouri State. He's the only player in double figures right now. 9 of 13 from the field and 3 of 5 from three-point range. Bearcats haven't hit a three-pointer here in the second half as Wittes hits the first free throw. Ashton Charles will check out. Quaylen Newton back into the game. One more coming for the senior Wittes. And he gets that one to spiral in to push the lead back to 13.
SNU in a desperate need of a good offensive possession here. The ball's not been falling for them. They've been getting decent open looks, but just unable to put the ball through the hoop.
Spade, step back. Now Johnson with it. Newton wants it. Spade, entry to Starkey. Kicks it back out. Micah Spade, straightaway 3. Got it! Big 3 from Micah Spade cuts the lead back to 10 as we're under 7 minutes to go in this one. Spade up to 14 points. SNU sticking with the man-to-man here. Spade matched up with Trevor Hudgens over there on the left wing. Hudgens will take the 3. He missed it. Bit of a quick trigger there for Hudgens. Zach Johnson with it in the open court. Backdoor lob to Newton. He lost the ball going up. Good look from Johnson, and Newton flying in would have been an epic finish, but unable to put it down. SNU again in need of a defensive stop. Hudgens nearly has his pocket picked by Johnson. Wittes open for three, no good. Spade has the miss. Edwards running to the wing for three, yes! Coleman Edwards, first three-pointer of the night.
Couple of great offensive possessions, two big three-pointers, have SNU back within single digits. Big momentum shift here, SNU needing to ride it.
Two three-pointers for SNU's cut the lead to 7. And a foul's going to be called on Zach Johnson, trying to deny Joey Wittes. It's going to be number 4 on Zach Johnson. Jonathan Dunn back in for Johnson. So 4 each on Jonathan Dunn and Zach Johnson. Wittes misses the free throw on the 1-and-1 attempt. So SNU down 7, a chance to cut into the lead even further. Edwards up top, guarded by Hudgens. He's going to be fouled by Hudgens. 4th team foul on the Bearcats. It's going to be the 2nd foul on Trevor Hudgens, and SNU will inbound on the baseline, 20 on the shot clock. 5:35 to go. SNU making the crowd a little tense here.
Key possessions here as SNU needing to find a way to continue to cut into this lead.
Dunn, entry to Quaylen Newton. Newton backing down Wittes, plows through him. And an offensive foul is called on Wittes, who went down like he got touched with a pillow. That's going to be the 4th foul on Quaylen Newton.
I have nothing to say.
At this point, you just shake your head. My 21-month-old could have pushed Wittes over with how easy he fell down. I don't like to complain about the officiating, but that's just bad. It's just bad. Hudgens probing, back up top to Wittes. Working on Dunn, lost the ball. Dunn on the floor with it, he's got it. Got the ball. And SNU with possession. Spade guarded by Doherty. Now back up top to Dunn. SNU still trailing by 7, 5 minutes to go, and Edwards nearly lost it. Newton, Edwards, quick trigger for another 3. Off the mark, no good. And Welty has it. Bernard bringing it up for Northwest Missouri.
Tense moments here with 4:30 to go as the crowd really getting into it a little bit closer maybe than they're comfortable with. This game's starting to get a little bit chippy.
Wittes guarded by Dunn. Remember, Dunn's got those 4 fouls.
Playing straight up.
Repost, 5 on the shot clock. Wittes spins, goes high over Starkey. Just a really nice shot there from Joey Wittes. It breaks this 2.5-minute scoreless drought for Northwest Missouri, pushing the lead back to 9. Dunn on the left wing. Starkey up top. Gives it back to Dunn. Doherty with the switch. Dunn will try a 3. It's off the mark, no good. Bernard tied for the rebound, and a foul going to be called on Welty as he sent Noah Starkey into the baseline. That'll take us to a timeout on the court. 3:58 to go. Bearcats leading 58-49. SNU in need of a rally when we come back after this. Welcome back to Bearcat Arena. SNU down 9 in need of a rally. Officials went to the monitor for something during the break. Not sure what they're reviewing. That last foul on Ryan Welty was his third, 5th team foul on the Bearcats. Didn't look to be anything of consequence as SNU will inbound on the baseline. 3:58 to go. SNU hanging around, down 9. But in need of stops and a rally. Jonathan Dunn dumps it down. Ashton Charles bullies Bernard away. Oh, what a tip by Ashton Charles.
Absolute no look over the back of his head. He knew he missed it the moment it came out, so he knew exactly where to be. A great tip from Ashton Charles to get it down to 7.
3:40 to go. SNU still in a man-to-man. Ryan Hawkins back in. He crosses over Noah Stark. He's got it. Big turnover for SNU there. Micah Spate hiding behind Starkey. Bumped by Bernard, no call. Charles thought about a 3 over Wittes, thought better of it. Coleman Edwards dumps it down low to Starkey. Starkey pivots, leaves it in for 2. It's a 5-point game.
Big response from SNU out of the timeout.
Hudgens controlling up top for the Storm, or for the Bearcats, guarded by Spate. Drives. Going to be bumped and pushed from behind by Starkey. Trail official got that one. Call on the floor. So it's going to be a 1-and-1, and that is going to be the 4th foul on Noah Starkey as well. So Dunn, Charles, Newton, and Starkey all with 4 fouls with 3 minutes to go. Bit of a tough predicament here for SNU in the foul department. Trevor Hudgens steps to the line where he is an 82% free throw shooter. He's 2 for 2 this evening. First one is up and good. One more coming for the redshirt freshman from Manhattan, Kansas.
3 minutes now for SNU to play tough defense without any fouling at this point. Fouls detrimental as any one of their great players could go to the bench.
7-point game. Micah Spate picks the ball up at half court. Big moments here for SNU. Gets a nice screen from Starkey. Floater is short. And 2 players boxing out Noah Starkey on that one, and Hudgens able to get the rebound. Bernard right in front of us gets it over to Hawkins. Gets it down low to Wittes. He's guarded by Ashton Charles. Wittes gets across. Hudgens will pull the trigger for a 3. He's got it to go. First 3-pointer for Trevor Hudgens pushes the lead back to 10 with 2.5 minutes remaining. And it's loud again in Bearcat Arena. Spate gets it to Charles. Trying to dump it low to Starkey. He does. Working on Hawkins. Lays it in with the right hand. Lead is 8, 2 minutes to go. SNU still needing some stops and some quicker buckets now as the clock becomes a factor. Wittes on the block, working on Charles. Pivots, shut off. Kick, Welty, corner, Hawkins, 3, short. Starkey manages to track down the rebound, and Spate coming back the other way. SNU needing to pick up the pace just a little bit. Jonathan Dunn with it. Elbow jumpers, perfect! Timeout SNU. Ben McCollum wanted an offensive foul. He ain't gonna get it. The lead is 6 for the Bearcats. 1:36 to go. Zach Johnson checking back in for the Storm. Give credit to SNU. They have hung around all night. They have limited Northwest Missouri State. They're just 6 of 23 from deep. That 3 from Hudgens was their first 3-pointer of the second half. They're 1 of 9 here in the second 20 minutes. And right now the foul line, the biggest discrepancy, 15 of 18 for Northwest Missouri and 6 of 10 for SNU. SNU sitting on 21 fouls. Northwest Missouri at 14. The whistle has been unkind to the Storm tonight. Some of it justified, some of it maybe not so much. But either way, you play through it. And SNU needing a couple stops here with 1:36 to go. They'll extend some full court pressure. 63-57 our score. The mood is tense here at Bearcat Arena. Just 5 single-digit margins this season for the Bearcats. Most of their 33 wins have been romps. Wittes working on Spate. Spate aggressive. He's only... Wittes picks up his dribble. Hudgens thought about a 3, thought better of it. 12 on the shot clock. Now Wittes matched up with Ashton Charles. Drives inside, high, rejected by Starkey, but the rebound comes out to Hudgens. Hudgens fires up a 3 at the shot clock buzzer, and he buried it. Unbelievable sequence right there. And it pushes the lead to 9 as we're under a minute to go. Spate gets the screen. Jonathan Dunn, wide open 3. Off the mark. Hawkins the rebound. SNU gonna have to foul.
Zach Johnson up at the ball, but he's got 4. Someone else needing to come forward to get the foul.
Foul on Micah Spate, and that'll send Diego Bernard to the foul line with a chance to ice this for the Bearcats. Just an unbelievable sequence. Starkey with an enormous block. Welty tipped the rebound, the long rebound out, and Hudgens threw up a prayer at the shot clock buzzer that went in.
And he drained it.
Just an unbelievable sequence there to push the lead to 9 and perhaps be the dagger in the Crimson Storm season. Bernard hits the first. The lead is 10 at 67-57. One more coming for the freshman. He knocks that one down. The lead is 11. SNU needing a bit of a miracle and a lot of speed here. Spate. Shot over Welty is good. A quick timeout called by Adam Bohach. 31.6 seconds to go.
And you said it, Luke, that 3, just the turning point at the end of this one. From a 6-point game to a 9-point game, that shot misses. SNU has an opportunity to bring it down to a 4 or 3-point game, but that shot falls, and SNU now looking at that 9-point deficit.
Again, that 3-pointer just under a minute to play. Push the lead to 9. As you said, Russ, it would have been interesting for SNU to come down with a minute to go, chance to cut it to 4 or 3. Instead, it's still a 9-point game, and we're going to do the foul game the rest of the way. And SNU with 4 starters with 4 fouls: Johnson, Dunn, Starkey, and Newton. Spade only has 2, and Charles on the court with 1. So you almost have to be strategic in who fouls here the rest of the way as well. Don't want to foul yourself out of a possible comeback. 31.6 seconds. Northwest will inbound on the baseline. They can move freely. Starkey out, Quaylen Newton in for speed purposes. SNU matching up man-to-man here. Hawkins will inbound. Long pass down the court to Bernard. He's going to go in for the highlight dunk. And that should just about ice it. Dunn trying to create space. Elbow jumper. It's long. Charles tips the rim, but Hawkins has it. And that is how this one's going to end, as Wittes will dribble it up. A very game effort from the Crimson Storm, but SNU is going to come up just short against the #1 team in the land. They put it all out here tonight, but the final from Bearcat Arena, Northwest Missouri State 70 and Southern Nazarene 59. Just a tough finish for SNU and a very gritty, determined effort by the Crimson Storm this evening, but in the end, just not enough made buckets for SNU. And a big difference at the foul line as well, as SNU sees its season come to a close at 29-6. And Russ, we knew it was going to be a tough one tonight, and it was that rock fight But SNU just unable to pull out the win tonight.
Yeah, just a tough, gritty game all around, running into the best offense in the nation. We talked about this SNU defense, and we talked maybe more during St. Cloud State pregame, but talked about that matchup, understanding that for SNU, such a tough defensive approach, that if games are called tight, regardless of where those calls are going, if games are called tight, it's not an advantage for SNU. They play that tough on-ball defense, and when the whistles are blowing, SNU at a major disadvantage, and that's maybe what we saw a little bit of tonight.
So Northwest Missouri State will advance to Tuesday night's championship game against Missouri Southern. And again, SNU sees its season come to a close, and big turnover coming for SNU here, looking ahead to next season as they lose 7 players off this roster. They do return Micah Spate and Jonathan Dunn, as well as a host of younger guys that will be counted on in the coming years, but big turnover coming for SNU. But again, still focusing on tonight, SNU continues to make history as a program. Their first NCAA tournament win last night against St. Cloud State, and really gave the Bearcats all they wanted tonight, and certainly a lot to be proud of if you're the Crimson Storm.
Oh yeah, just a great game, and maybe the game to watch from this tournament. Just an incredible outing, an incredible effort to SNU. A tough loss, but looking at the success of these guys, what they've worked towards, what they've built towards, their incredible game last night where they just came out and were a defensive force against St. Cloud State, falling just short here tonight. But again, a very tall task to hold the Bearcats to just 70. An all-around great game for SNU. Nothing to hang their heads about.
Running through the final stats for you tonight, SNU finished the game 23 of 50 from the field, 46%. They were 7 of 20 from the three-point line, 6 of 10 from the foul line. Again, the turnover's a big story. Only 3 in the second half, but finished the game with 12 turnovers individually for SNU. Noah Starkey and Micah Spate, 16 points apiece, 8 rebounds for Noah Starkey, including 4 on the offensive glass. Jonathan Dunn led the team in scoring with 17 points. He knocked down 3 three-pointers, but just not enough for the Crimson Storm tonight. 3 points for R.J. Palmer, 3 for Coleman Edwards, and 4 points for Ashton Charles, rounding out the scoring for SNU. Both teams with 29 rebounds and 7 offensive rebounds. The biggest difference on the score sheet, 22 fouls for SNU, just 14 for the Bearcats, leading to a 6-17 free throw discrepancy. Northwest Missouri State finished 17 of 20. They also knocked down 23 field goals and also knocked down 7 three-pointers. The foul line was literally the difference in the game and created the final margin. Joey Wittes led the team in scoring 29 points. He was 10 of 16 from the field. 16 points for Trevor Hudgens, including the dagger with about a minute to go as the shot clock expired. 10 points for Diego Bernard. Ryan Welty just had 3 points. He was 1 of 6 from three-point range. Ryan Hawkins 1 of 5 from three-point range. He had 7. But Welty finished with 8 rebounds as well. Tyler Doherty came off the bench to relieve Ryan Hawkins with those 4 fouls, or the foul trouble throughout the contest. And Doherty contributed 5 points and played some pretty good defense on Noah Starkey in the post. Certainly a lift that Coach Ben McCollum wasn't expecting or counting on for the Bearcats tonight. Northwest Missouri State led in points in the paint, 32-30. Points off turnovers, a massive difference, 16-2 for the Bearcats. SNU 10-5 in second chance points. No fast break points recorded for either team tonight. A little bit interesting there. SNU, again, a great job defensively as far as shooting percentages go, holding the Bearcats to 47% shooting, 29% from three-point range, both well below their season averages. SNU trailed almost literally the entire game. They led for 17 seconds as they jumped out to a 2-0 lead on a bucket from Jonathan Dunn in the first minute. The Northwest Missouri State gained the lead early and led the rest of the way this evening. So SNU wraps up the season at 29-6. Northwest Missouri State 34-0, moving on to Tuesday's championship game. And Russ, just a tremendous season for SNU, one to be proud of, one that set a new mark for wins as a program, 2 straight conference titles, both regular season and tournament, and again, the first NCAA win in program history. A lot to build on for this SNU program going forward.
Yeah, just an incredible season, an incredible postseason outing for your Storm, and some sad goodbyes to some of those senior class, but also a lot to look forward to for the Storm in Micah Spate, in Jonathan Dunn, in Ashton Charles, and Mo. Man, we got a lot to build on here for the Storm, and although this is the end of this season, a lot more exciting things to come for this SNU men's basketball program.
Russ, any final thoughts for you from tonight's game, the tournament as a whole?
Just a great environment out here, a lot of fun to come out and to be a part of. Big credit to Northwest and the way that they have hosted this tournament, and credit to their fans for showing up and showing out to support this #1 in the nation team. So thankful to be a part of it, and thankful for SNU's opportunity to come out and show a little bit of what the GAC is made of and a little bit of what post play and defense can do.
That'll do it from us from Bearcat Arena tonight. Again, the final, SNU falls 70-59 to #1 Northwest Missouri State. That'll do it for us, and again, thank you very much for following along with us all season long. It's been a joy bringing you coverage of both the men and women throughout the season, and it's been a joy to see both of those programs and their success. We look forward to what the future holds, and look forward to seeing all of you at the Sawyer Center next November when the season kicks off at homecoming, and we'll have the full coverage for you always on SNUathletics.com. For Russ Frisbee, I'm Luke McConnell saying good night from Bearcat Arena, and we'll see you next season.